Barrasso is chairman of the Senate Republican Policy Committee and member of the Senate Foreign Relations Committee as well. Good morning, Senator. Good to have you with us today.
Thanks for having me, Martha. Thank you.
We just heard a little while ago from Hillary Clinton basically saying that she got the wheels rolling in the initial stages of this deal, and she claims that although there are critics to the deal, that not doing the deal would be more dangerous than doing it. What do you think?
Well, I think she was the first one to throw in the towel, the first to surrender, to say that it was okay for Iran to continue its development of a nuclear weapon. I mean, that's the problem with this deal. It doesn't stop Iran from getting a nuclear weapon. It gives Iran lots of money that they can use for additional terrorist activities. It has secret side deals as part of it. It allows them to have not just conventional weapons, but ballistic weapons as well. So I think she has to be held accountable for her role in which is a terrible deal for our own U.S. security.
You know, it's interesting because if she had wanted to distance herself from this deal during the election, it would have been pretty difficult because according to this report and now according to her confirmation of that, and this is from the Wall Street Journal piece today, that she opened the door, helped open the door to a dramatic shift in U.S. policy toward Iran, an acceptance that Tehran would maintain at least some capacity to produce nuclear fuel, and that she recognized the difficulty of reaching any solution that had a zero enrichment component to it. You know, you've got 49% of Americans who now say they're not happy with this deal. So is this an albatross around her neck as she heads into this process?
Well, I think it is specifically because, you know, the president said it's this or war. Well, I think we have a much higher possibility of war and military action as a result of this deal. One, we're going to see increased terrorism by the Iranian government, I believe, because they're going to have all this additional money that they're going to get. Plus, the neighbors of Iran now say, hey, if they're going to get a nuclear weapon, we need nuclear weapons as well. So you're going to have this incredible buildup of nuclear arms in the Middle East. So I think that we are made much less secure for our own country as well as the world as a result of now what Hillary Clinton is taking credit for.
Yeah, there's talk in this piece about Jake Sullivan, about him going over to sort of start the initial discussions with this, and that the Iranians weren't happy. They felt that he wasn't high level enough to talk to them about this deal. So there's a lot of real inner workings. It also made me curious if any of that discussion is going to be found in these emails that are coming forth as well. But I also want to take your attention back to 2008, because when she was running against now President Obama, she basically accused him of being naive when it came to negotiating with Tehran. And she said, you know, this is a religious totalitarian regime, essentially, theocratic regime, and it's naive to think that you can deal with them. And yet that's exactly what it appears she did.
Well, the president's been naive throughout the whole process. His whole foreign policy has been that way, whether it's Hillary and the president with the reset button with Russia, whether it's been North Korea, Iran, Syria, all around the world. That's what we've seen as a naive approach to foreign policy, both with Barack Obama and with Hillary Clinton. But what this deal shows me is there is no red line with this president and this administration. They were so desperate to get any deal that they settled for a very bad deal. And the president had this deal euphoria that to me said he is blinded and cannot see how detrimental this deal is to the United States as well as to the world in terms of security and safety.
And the deal is still on the plate. It looks like it's going to be a done deal. Do you agree?
Well, it's interesting. The United Nations had a chance to vote on this. It sounds like the Iranian parliament is going to have an opportunity to vote, and yet the president and a number of Democrats in the Senate are trying to block the Senate, the voice of the American people, from even having a vote on this. They're filibustering it right now.
John Barrasso, thank you very much, Senator. Good to have you with us.
Thanks, Martha.